What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of the Rock Panda Labs Cheech and Chong build. There wasn't really much left to do on it, so I got it together. I literally just had to hook the ESC up. Everything else was in, so I figured that I would just do that, and then we can talk about the build, and then we'll put it out on the rocks and see what needs tuned up and what needs adjusted. So I do know that I bought D90 links and the deadbolt front drive shaft was too short. So I mocked up, I don't know if you can see it in there, but I cut a plastic stock drive shaft down with a long spline to go in there. It works, but if the front end unloads, it binds up a little bit and causes it to jump, so I'm going to figure out how to remedy that problem. Maybe just get a metal cut the length drive shaft and cut it super short. That way, because the metal articulates more than the plastic drive shafts, where the joints are, it moves better with the metal. But yeah, this is the build. We've already talked about everything that's on it, but I'll go through it again real quick. So we got Big Kid Tiny Truck Icing V2 motor, Enjora Trans, the Mia's 4-channel micro thing. Big Kid Tiny Truck ESC, Cake Pop ESC, NSDRC servo, purple limited edition one, Mia's purple axle, isokinetic axles. Big Kid Tiny Truck cut the length rear drive shaft, like I said, stock plastic one. Did the Trio wheels, purple and green. And I don't know, I'm happy with the way it turned out. Like I said, it needs a little bit of adjustment, but it's together and it moves under its own power, and we can always adjust accordingly as time goes on. So I do know I got to figure out the front drive shaft. That is basically the only issue that I have. So once I figure out that front drive shaft solution, I think that this thing will be, I wasn't planning on trying to build it to be like a line slayer, but I think that it is going to do well on the rocks. The clearance on this thing is unreal. Them links, them RC Steve links, they tuck right up in there. And I mean, it's pretty dang good clearance. But the look wise, this thing it looks so sweet. But yeah, let's get it out on the rocks. I'm just gonna go out on the retaining wall lines. You guys have seen them. There's nothing crazy. We'll go out, see how it does on that, see how much, if any, the front drive. The front drive shaft seems to be all right when the weight of the truck's on it. It's when I hold it up and the front end drops all the way down, it starts to bind up a little bit. So we'll see out there on the retaining wall how it does, and then we'll come back in and I'll touch base back in with y'all, and then that's going to be it for part 2 and wrapped up on the Cheech and Chong build. But let's get it out on the rocks and we'll see how it does. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed them clips of it crawling. First thought. Not sure how much I like these Upgrade RC geckos. Maybe with a different insert. But I think I'm going to put either a set of the Mavericks or a set of Ruptures on there. Try them out. I just don't know about these tires. I might give them a chance. I don't know. I might take it out to the big rocks and see how it does. But it did well. I mean, it's not gonna, with that front dry shaft binding up like it is, it's not gonna do as well as it could. But we'll get that figured out. But final thoughts. I'd be okay if this thing. It fell over a couple times. I already nicked the body up. Don't care really. If I really cared, I could call or reach out to Print Hub and get another one printed. But it's a crawler. It's gonna fall on rocks. That's what they're built for. So until it breaks, it's gonna be all scratched up. I don't care. Looks. I love this thing. I'd be happy if I could just set it up here on the shelf and it sat up there and it was just something to look at. But I put some effort into bringing this vision to life, so I am going to enjoy it and I'm going to use it. So that's about it for the Cheech and Chong build. Next build up is the Leprechaun build. That is going to be the next build series that we do. For anybody who's just tuning in, Terp Shredder made me a Leprechaun interior. And then I have a CL Designs Gladius C1 Gold Flake Carbon chassis with the limited edition IR 6024 gold body. And then I put these together today. They're Trio Whirlwinds on some J-Concept Ruptures. Then I got gold Mias isokinetic axles for it. Just some Mias double bend black links. Because I'm doing a short wheelbase, like 135. Maybe. That's probably the longest I'm going to get. It's 135 with that body. But that's the next build on the bench. Looking forward to starting that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the 1.5 part build series of the Cheech and Chong build. And there'll be some videos of that thing crawling. And I'll probably make some shorts of, fixing it, the drive shaft issues. I ordered a short cut the length front drive shaft so I can try to cut one to the size that I need. And I also, off camera outside, I lowered the upper links to try to push the front axle out some, and that seemed to help, honestly. So but I'd like to get a metal drive shaft in there anyway. The plastic ones are good, are okay. And I run them in a couple rigs in the front. But I like to have the metal ones in there. So that's about all I got for the Cheech and Chong build. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of that truck. I am going to put it through its paces, make some videos on it and stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, if you haven't liked, subscribed, and followed yet, please do so. And we'll catch you on the next one.